Right, so welcome to our assembly on litter and waste. It's so great to have you all join us on a Friday. Happy Friday. First off, I just wanted to say apologies that the recorded lesson isn't on our website. It's on YouTube and you should all have received the link. Had a bit of a technical hitch, so it will be on the website later on today. So let's get started. First off, can you remember, I bet you can, how long it takes for a crisp packet to decompose? If you think it's 40 years, stay sat down. If you think it's 80 years, stand up. Let's see what we think here. Everyone remember? Well, I hope you're all standing up because it's 80 years. If one of the many packets that are consumed daily in schools and outside gets to escape the bin, or the landfill, it'll be floating around or buried somewhere until you are around 90 years old. That's a long time. If you don't believe me, check out the next slide. This is a 50-year-old packet of crisps found in the year 2020 in Newborough, Aberdeenshire. It's looking pretty intact despite 5 decades of wind, waves, and weather, isn't it? And not only that, but amazingly enough, although clearly not surprisingly enough, unfortunately, this photo was sent to us by Tongue Primary School in Sutherland just yesterday. As the class were digging to plant a tree, they found this old packet of crisps. Now, we can't really tell how old it is, but thanks to our detective skills, we noticed that the logo on this packet is one that was used from 1968 until 1993 when it changed to a different one. So this packet is likely to be at least 30 years old, probably more, maybe even as old as me. Now, we didn't tell you on Monday that in Britain we consume around 6 billion packets of crisps. That's billion. Plus around 4.4 billion of other savory snacks, and that's every year. And what we didn't mention as well is that it takes a lot of resources to produce each packet of crisps. Land, fossil fuel, minerals, plastics, energy, and up to 180 litres of water to produce just one portion of crisps. And it's metallicized plastic unrecyclable package. Well, TerraCycle doesn't really recycle them. They turn them into benches. So remember, as Jamie mentioned before, that's repurposing or, not quite recycling. This is, of course, not a campaign against crisps, mostly because I love them very much myself. But it's just a call for us all, adults and pupils, to start thinking about what it takes from our environment to make the things that we buy and consume so quickly, and sometimes without thinking at all what goes back into the environment in the shape of pollution and habitat loss and litter, which we generally don't see. Can you see how powerful and positive for the planet it would be if we could all swap 1 or 2 or even more of these snacks for an apple or banana? Something to think about for your snack today, perhaps. Now, remember at the end of our lesson on Monday, we had a quiz for you. Now, so many of you have sent in your answers, and I just wanted to make sure that we went over the questions so we all know the right answer. All of your answers are so excellent, and they all showed such good listening and understanding of all of the workshop lessons and great ideas for reducing waste. So well done, and thank you so much for sending them in. So our first question was, what happened to the fox and how did the story end? You remember the poor fox had its head stuck in a milk bottle, probably because it wasn't rinsed properly. But thanks to the quick action of the people at home, the SSPCA could come and rescue it. So the fox ended up being all right in the end. And the second question, what are some of the things that children in the olden days had to do after school? They had to do so many things. When they got home after a long walk, they would be expected to help out collecting eggs, shelling peas, spinning wool, or helping to muck out or feed the animals, for example. So any of these examples were correct. And our third question, can you mention 3 ways of reducing the amount of waste we produce and why this is important? Now, there were so many different ways. But for starts, we could start by buying less stuff, and then we could choose wisely and consume and eat only what we need. Other ways could be choosing things that could be reused, like a reusable water bottle, or extending the life of things like clothes, books, toys, and tools by organizing swap shops or libraries, like a tool library or a book library, repairing what gets broken, and basically looking after our things so they last a lot longer. And why is this important? I think you know it's because we only have the one planet, so we have to look after it. And our prize draw winner is, drumroll please, it's the P67 class at Charleston School in Aberdeen City. I really hope you're here with us today. I can't see everyone who's here today, but I really hope you are. Congratulations. You've won a virtual visit from the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland. I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you again to everybody who sent in their quiz answers. It was a delight to read them all. We're going to share as many as we can on social media as well, along with all of the wonderful things that you sent us that you've been up to this week, some of which we're going to share in just a moment. First, though, we're going to answer as many of the questions as we can that you sent in. I hope you see your question here. You sent in so many interesting questions, some of which we had to actually go and find the answers to, so well done. One of them was, how many animals can you save on a busy day? And this was obviously asked of Chris, our friend from the Scottish SPCA. And he says 20 to 30 every day in the summer. Do you get many cats? Yes, we rehabilitate and rehome thousands of cats every year. Do you still take care of horses? Yes, the SSPCA still helps horses, but they no longer live temporarily at their facilities. I guess they have somewhere else for them to stay. What is the most common animal that you help? And that would be birds like pigeons, gulls, and swans. What is the hardest animal to rescue? And he says the most difficult to rescue animals are ones in difficult places to access. So busy roads, around water, and on rooftops. Sounds like Chris has quite an adventurous job. In these situations, they need help from other agencies like the police, the fire and rescue, and sometimes the Coast Guard. And what is the most dangerous animal you've rescued? And he says, because of their size and weight, cows and bulls can be dangerous. And the smallest animal is baby mice. And what is the rarest animal you've rescued? A rare native lizard that was actually reported as a lost pet. What is the most severely injured animal you've ever found? And this, unfortunately, is animals injured on the road. What is your most difficult rescue? A gull trapped in a 15-foot deep cavity, so a hole, between two buildings. This was a job when Chris had to call in the fire and rescue to help rescue the bird. Are the SSPCA able to help or save every type of animal they see? Yes, the SSPCA will help any animal that is reported to us. It is the most unusual animal they have helped. Occasionally, we get calls for unusual animals being kept illegally as pets, including a crocodile. That's a bit unusual, isn't it? Do you take care of sea animals? Yes, seals, whales, and seabirds. Due to the nature of fish, we do not often get calls for injured wild fish. I think it's probably difficult to rescue a fish, but we do often rehome unwanted pet fish and turtles. Are there any snakes in Scotland, and have you ever supported a snake? And yes, there are native snakes in Scotland, but they're quite rare and they live in remote locations. It's very rare that you would actually see one. They do rarely get reports for them, but we quite often get calls for pet snakes that have got out of their vivarium. Now, a vivarium is like a habitat for a snake, kind of like you have an aquarium for fish. Are there special places that you release animals, or is it just in local woodlands? This is important because if you bring an animal back to somewhere it won't be able to live, then you've undone all your work, haven't you? So he says animals are released in undisclosed, so unknown locations to control populations and prevent poaching, so someone hurting the animals, or released in a safe place as close to where they were found as possible. Do you take part in repopulating Scotland with endangered animals? He says yes, including puffins. Puffins are some of my absolute favorites, so this makes me very happy. I have a couple more slides of questions. How do the SSPCA prioritize which animals they help when they are very busy? And they prioritize which animal comes next on busy days by their location, how likely the rescue is to be successful, and also how severe the report is, so how much danger the animal is in. And we, the public, can be very useful here by providing as much information as possible and by keeping injured animals in a box if possible, or making sure we keep an eye on them. Is your job difficult? Chris says his job has extensive training, which helps, but in their busiest times in the summer, they can get very busy, so they rely a lot on volunteers. And the advice he would give to someone who wanted to work for the SSPCA is to volunteer as much as possible. Do you operate in Shetland? Now I know which school this came from. Yes, we do. He says they have part-time staff or call in help from all under other agencies, but they do operate for all animals everywhere in Scotland. And what can hedgehogs eat? Remember we had the question what they can't eat? Well, hedgehogs are insectivores, which means they eat a lot of bugs, like worms and slugs. So when the SSPCA help them, they mostly feed them meat-based hedgehog food and some dog food. Right, and just now, we're going to share, I don't know if you saw, when you were waiting to start our assembly, we had a whole bunch of slides with all of the lovely things that you have sent us. And so just now, we're going to share a whole bunch more because we wanted to show you as much as possible. This is the best part of having a live lesson like this, is first of all, to be able to have you all here today, and second, for you to show us all the amazing things that you have been doing during the week. I just need to fix one little technical thing, and then I'll be able to show you as much as I can. So just bear with me 1 second. There we go. Right. Hopefully you see your school's work go flying by, and I'll be right back with you in a moment. Hiya. Can you see me just now? I think that was all of the slides that we had just now for you. I've been told some of you can't see me though, so just give me a sec. And I hope that's better. You cannot see me. Oh no. Is that any better? Okay. Hello. I have one other nice thing to show you, but first I'd like to invite Tim from Keep Wales Tidy to come and say hello to everyone, if that's all right. Tim, are you there? Hello, Tim.
Hello, good morning. Well, bore da Gymru, good morning from Wales. I love that slideshow. So much superb work being carried out. Absolutely brilliant. Some of the monsters were a little bit scary, so I would be a bit scared of seeing some of those out on the street, but brilliant work. And it's so lovely to see all that fantastic work being done over the week. I just want to pop in and say a massive diolch yn fawr, thank you very much, as we say in Wales, to EcoSchool Scotland for inviting schools from Wales along. It's been absolutely brilliant. And thank you to all the eco schools in Scotland for making us feel really welcome as well. So round of applause from me to you guys, because it's been really, really lovely to join you. So, and thank you for sharing all that brilliant work. Really inspiring.
Oh, that's lovely, Tim. Thank you. It's lovely for us to see our friends in Wales and in Northern Ireland and in England join us, especially since we're all working on eco schools and we all have the same goals for clean and safe environment for everyone. So I just love seeing everyone here together. So now we have something a bit fun for everyone, potentially a bit embarrassing for us at Keep Scotland Beautiful, but we have a wee song for you. So I'm not sure if you've heard the song Baby Shark. I'm sure your teachers all have. And we decided to rewrite the words to the tune of Baby Shark, but it's called Litter Stinks. I've put the words up on the screen. I hope you'll all join me in a good sing along. Hang on a second while I put on this wee video of us singing and we can all have a good sing. You ready? Let's go.
On a 3. Litter stinks.
Turn the volume up because you have to hear us.
Litter stinks. Litter stinks. Litter stinks. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Dog food. Dog food. Dog food. Dog food. Clean our schools, clean our schools, clean our schools, clean our schools, clean our parks, clean our parks, clean our parks, clean our parks. We can help, we can help, we can help, we can help. You can too, you can too, you can too, you can too. Change your ways, change your ways, change your ways, change your ways. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yay! Well, I hope you enjoyed that little song. Tim's saying now it's stuck in his head. I have a wee challenge for you though. I think that song needs another verse. What do you think? So what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to write another couple verses if you can with your own words. Other places you think we should clean up, other things we should do to help the environment and get rid of litter. I think you can do that for me and share it with us again, the same way you did all the wonderful things that you sent us earlier. I have to say, putting that slideshow together actually got me a bit emotional just because all the effort that you've put in to so many projects. I loved your monsters. I love the fact that so many of you have already been out on a litter pick. And I think that now that the weather's getting nicer, maybe if you go out yourselves, if you haven't already, and do a cleanup, we would love to hear about it. And remember to pledge your bags for the Big Bag Challenge for our Scottish Spring Clean and Great British Spring Clean and the Big Spring Clean in Northern Ireland. So because we need to know just how much we're finding out there so we can let everyone know just how big the problem is and again, how much young people care and want to do something about it. Okay, so remember to send us your words. Remember to send us your litter pick and your pledges. And most of all, remember to have a good weekend and put your rubbish where it belongs, in the bin. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I really hope you can join us for our next live lessons on biodiversity and on water coming up soon. Thank you very much. Bye for now.